Good morning everyone. My name is Dr.Anurag and I am assistant professor in home science department where we served as food science and nutrition. So today we discuss about food spoilage and preservation. In previously we have discussed about unit 1 in introduction of microbiology. So here we combined each other this topic. We have food spoilage and preservation. What we think about the food spoilage and preservation. So we know about the spoilage, which kind of spoilage in food. Food spoilage happens when microorganisms break down the food, making it unsafe to eat. So we know the spoiled food, how to preserve it, preserve, because we know about the which microbes are infected our food items. So we ensure about the microbes and preserves, keep the food safe and reduce the waste, because if our food will be contaminated, then we also we face a issue regarding food waste, because food waste is also a challenging point of view regarding our environment and recent scenario. So let we discuss more about food spoilage. So what is food spoilage? Food spoilage is an unpleasant appearance, smell and bad taste of food which not favorable human consumptions. It means, so food spoilage, here we know about the spoilage unpleasant and appearance, smell and bad taste of food, so which are not favorable for human consumption. So food spoilage is caused by different type of microorganisms, which we discussed in our previous lecture also, which type of microorganisms. So what bacteria, that's we have discussed about, so such as bacteria, fungus, yeast. So these are microorganisms which spoil our food products. So now we discuss about the process is caused by various factors including microorganisms, enzyme and environmental conditions. So we are seen the immunization form. We see the fresh fruit is a fresh fruit and it's a spoilage food due to microorganisms in fruits. And here we also see in bread is a fresh bread, and here we found the portions of mold, bacteria, etc. we have found on bread. So it is contaminated portion which spoil the food item. So spoilage is also often changes in taste, smell, not by structure or shape or appearance. We also challenging phase of in the change of the smell, taste, appearance and texture also. So we know all about the fresh fruits and spoiled by the microorganisms. So we go for next. So here is the appearance. These are the parameters which can identify the food spoilage. First is appearance, in which decolorations, mold growth, softening or leaking. So second parameter is texture. In texture, becoming slimy, mushy or dry. In order, third parameter is odor. So developing unpleasant of smells. When we found unpleasant smells in food, so we also know about in a general way and normally terminology we have, say this food are totally spoiled, or it can't be able to eatable. So these are the parameters which identify the food spoilage. So here is a flavor. Next parameter is flavor. Tasting, sour, bitter and rancid. And fourth is nutrition value, loss of initial vitamins and minerals also. So these are parameters which can identify the food spoilage in food product. So here we see the fresh fruit which found by the impacted or affected by the bacteria, yeast, mold, such kind of bacteria infected the fruits. So we have a small clip about the food spoilage. So we have seen the what is the food spoilage, how is food becoming the food spoiling, and how is the microbial analysis in the microscopes where we study in the last unit. So here we know about the food spoilage. C is the structure of the bacterial infected area of any food item. C is a slimy and mushy or dry portion of the infected portions, and is also unpleasant smells, means when we are smelling unpleasant and unwanted things. So we know about the food spoilage, that food item is spoiled. So here also we know about, also we have lost in nutrition value and all. So we go for next slide about food spoilage. Here is a several factor contributes in food spoilage. So means we know about what's the factor, several factors contribute to food spoilage. So here is first is microorganisms. So in microorganisms, bacteria, mold, yeast are the primary culprits. So they grow multiply on foods utilizing its nutrient for their own survival, means for own survival they infected the food items. So this growth can lead the spoilage characteristics mentioned above. Here we see some example of microbial spoilage, like bacteria in low acidic foods, fungi, here yeast in high sugar and high acidic foods, here is a mold in high acidic food items. So these are the examples which affected by microbial spoilage. So this point is about microorganisms. So we go for next parameter. Here bacterial growth, fungal contamination or viral transmission, means viruses can be transmitted. So here in bacterial growth, some kind of bacteria like Salmonella and E. coli can rapidly multiply in food, leading to foodborne illnesses if not properly handled or stored. So we know about the handle and stored. If we not handling the food items properly, unhygienic, then this kind of bacteria can infected the food items. So here in fungal contamination means mold, yeast can colonize. See here the colonize of the mold and yeast. So producing the toxic and accelerating spoilage, means it's producing a toxic and accelerating the spoilage. So monitoring and controlled environment are crucial prevent fungal growth. Next is a viral transmission. What is viral transmission? Like hepatitis A can be transmitted through the contaminated food, water, poisoning the public health risk. Proper sanitization and cooking are the initial inactivated the pathogens. So means viral we will be aware about in the last lecture, aware about the viral transmission, means any virus can be transmitted from one to another. So it's easily to transmitted in any food items, any human beings also. So viral is a most common, and recently in a recent time we have found several and new viruses we have found in different disease sector. So these 3 points for microbial contamination in food products. So we go for the next point. After microbial, we discuss about physical damage and deteriorations of food items. So here we know about the food physical damage. What means physical damage to food such as brushing, tearing, crushing can be lead to rapid spoilage. Means कोई अगर ऐसा फ्रूट है या फ्रूट्स एंड वेजिटेबल्स है, इफ़ वो अगर उसमें कोई डैमेज आता है, डैमेज है, इट मीन्स इज अ ब्रोकन, टीयरिंग, ब्रशिंग, दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स आर प्रेजेंट, दैट मीन इट इज़ रैपिडली लीड टू द स्पॉइलेज. So this expose the inner food because they expose the inner food tissues which connected to the air microbes, accelerating the chemical microbial deteriorations. Means when they spoil or connecting in the inner food surface of tissues, so air will be connecting with the microbes, accelerating chemical and microbial deterioration of the food product. So next is the environmental factor like temperature, humidity, light can be also cause of physical challenges that degrade the food quality over time, leading to texture, color and flavor changes. It means environmental is also factors like temperature, humidity, light can affect the food items for degrade food quality over time, leading to texture, color and flavor changes. So these 3 parameters are environmental condition to affect the food items. So we go for next in a food spoilage. Second point, first we talk about the microorganisms, second is enzyme. Second one is enzyme. So enzyme is naturally occurring enzyme in food can break down its components. Means components break down over time, affecting texture, flavor and nutritional values. Means enzyme already found in the fruits and in vegetables. It's occurring the enzyme in food can break down means break down their components. If over time we store, they are affecting texture, flavor and nutrition values. Next we go for third point. These parameters are affecting also food spoilage. So here is air. Oh sorry for disruption. So here let's discuss about air, light, temperature, time. It means these parameters affected the food products and spoil the food products. So here we about oxygen. If oxygen in the air contribute to oxidize the fats, leading to rancidity and off flavor. And in light, if we have excess light, so can we accelerate some spoilage processes, especially for fruits and vegetables. It means example, fruits and vegetables placed in light, it can spoil rapidly. So next is temperature. Temperature if means warm temperature provided ideal condition for microbial growth. So while freezing is a kind of preservation. is a kind of preservation which temperature can damage some foods items. Sometimes temperature, its freezing is a preservation process. Sometimes it's destroy or damage the food products. So not we give a high temperature or low temperature, moderate temperature for moderate fruits as per required fruits and vegetables. Here next is time. Role of time in food spoilage. It's also crucial role for food spoilage. Time is in a time we study about the progressive deteriorations, as means such some time passes the quality of food gradually decline due to the various factor. If we stored or we left the food products for long time, then then the quality of the food product gradually deteriorate. The time to timely it will be degraded. So next is microbial growth. Time always allows the microorganism to multiplying. If we give the time, so microorganism multiply, leading and microbial spoilage. After that, enzyme activity, because we have already know in fruits and vegetable enzymes are naturally present. So in food, catalyze reactions that can break down the nutrition, causing the spoilage. In chemical reaction over time, if any chemical reaction such as oxidation can be alterate the taste, color and texture. So here some points about food spoilage. One is intransgenic factors. What mean by intransgenic factor? Intransgenic factor is a conditions naturally present in foods, so that influence microbial growth are called intransgenic factor. Here some intransgenic factors parameters are: one is water, pH, physical structure and chemical composition. These are the parameter of intransgenic factors. So here we know about food spoilage, intransgenic factor and extransgenic factor, because this factor divided into two parts: factors of spoilage. One is intransgenic, second is extransgenic factor, in which we know about water content, pH, physical structure, moisture, neutral, ground or sliced meat. Here in the extransgenic factor is a environmental transgenic factor which found in the nature, temperature, unrefrigeration. In some food we see foods that quickly spoil. Here is milk, meat, fruits, meat product, meat, yogurts. And food that resist spoilage means slowly spoil. So here is flour, acidic, dry, acidic, whole meat, refrigerate. These are the items are less spoilage, restless spoilage and rapid spoilage. That means these food products rapidly spoiled if these food product not preserved as given parameters or condition which the foods are required. So let we discuss about next point. In between we discuss about the industrial characterize food into three groups based on how quickly they are spoiled. Means some industrial characterize the parameters, those fruits are spoiled rapidly. So one is highly perishable, in which spoil quickly, like poultry, eggs, meat, most vegetables and fruits are dairy products, which we are seeing the highly perishable food product, which highly chance to contaminated or spoiled. And second is semi-perishable foods. Semi-perishable foods are some less quickly, like nutmegs, potatoes and some apples are semi-perishable fruits, in which we see these fruits are semi-perishable foods which spoil slowly. And non-perishable condition is stored in the pantry and long lasting, like cereals, dried rice, beans, pasta flour and sugar. Because in this condition, why the condition these food items are non perishable condition? Because they are less moisture content. Moisture content will be main parameter which can affect the food items for spoilage. So it is a non-perishable condition. So now we go for next. The second point is a extrinsic factors. So we have to know about the environmental condition surrounding the food. Means food storage, packaging are extrinsic factors to influencing microbial growth and food spoilage. Means the food storage conditions and packaging are influence the microorganism growth, in which there are two parameters. One is oxygen, second is temperature. So it means oxygen properly vacuum sealed can food, or without oxygen gas anaerobic condition, means no gas or no oxygen are present, and thus do not support the growth of anaerobic microbes and improve prepared contaminated with the anaerobic provides for this suitable environment for growth, and one contract Blolostridium by the consuming Blolostridium toxics that have been released in the food. So oxygen is the parameter to contaminate or spoil the food items. And temperature in case the refrigerated temperature is usually too cold or growth of most spoilage organism and freezer. So temperature halts means the growth of microbes. However, the warm hold of a cargo ship and humid conditions, hot storeroom or warehouses, environmental convective the growth of many spoilage microorganisms. Here is the extrinsic factor which affect the food items and spoil the food products. So here one good example. So here in the good example of relationship between intrinsic and extrinsic factor with the microorganism in dairy product such as milk. Milk is an extremely nutritious food for both human and microbes. Means in human case and microbes case, the milk is more and extremely nutrients for growing. In human beings for growing, development, microbes for survival. So here it means aqueous solution, 87% of water, means moist condition with a pH of about 7 and contain protein, carbohydrate and fat. This is the condition for microbes grow and spoil the food products. We go for next. Here discuss about also factor affecting food spoilage. So here is a water content. First is a water content, second is pH level, third is physical structure, fourth is chemical composition. Means water in condition of water content, food must be moist 80 to 20% for microbial contamination and spoilage. In this condition, microbial will be survival. And in dry foods like beans, rice and flour resist spoilage due to low water content. If water content is low, then spoilage chances is less. And in pH level, the most food are slightly acidic, promoting bacterial growth. If their foods are acidic, they promote the microbial growth. So food with the pH level of 5 or lower fever acidic loving molds like those found citrus fruits. In some foods are also in a pH low condition, microbes loving for to survival or grow in a food in a acidic foods. So here is a physical structure. Physical structure is also a parameter to decide the microbial spoilage. So here solid foods, like if any kind of solid fruits on which surface no damage or any affected area like black portions or a damage by the transportation. So in case of the raw streak spoil slowly, because in raw streak fruits spoil slowly because microbes can't penetrate the easily, because they not entered in food items very easily. So ground meats spoil quickly as microbes can be both inside on the surface. Meat is also meat spoil quickly as microbes can be both inside, because they are both inside on the surface. And here is a chemical compositions. Fruits have with the sugar content and carbohydrate. This component support the microbial growth, and in which meat attract protein and decompose. In meat, protein attract the microbes and decompose or spoil the food items. Here starchy food is also like potatoes, rice attract the starch, hydrolyzing the bacteria and molds. So starchy food is also the survival condition for the microbes. So we go for next. Now in previous we discussed about food spoilage. So now how can preserve the food items and prevent the condition of food spoilage and save the food products. Here is all about food preservation. So what is food preservations? Preservation means know about the method to prevent the food spoilage. In a normal or general language we know about the preservation. Preservation is a technique to save the food items from microbial growth. And second point is extend the shelf life of the food products and maintain food safety, the quality, and quality is the main part of the food preservation. Food preservation save the food and maintain the quality. So here we know about the food items. Here are some preservation types: adding salt or sugar, natural preservative, dehydration technique, moisture removal, vacuum packaging, restrict the air or moisture. Canning is the same. Refrigeration for fruits and vegetables. Pasteurizations for milk. Adding acetic acid for picklings. Bottling for beverages. These are the parameters and technical tools which are used in food preservations. We go for next. Importance of food preservation. Why is important food preservation? ज़रूरत क्यों पड़ रही है फूड प्रिजर्वेशन की? वाई प्रिजर्वेशन करना इतना ज़रूरी क्यों हो रहा है? तो इट मीन्स द इम्पोर्टेंस ऑफ प्रिजर्वेशन इन फूड is as per our safety purpose, quality purpose, economical purpose, convenience purpose or availability. Means if we preserve the food items, if the food items not become spoiled, so we use for long terms, and also help in sustainable goal like a food waste. So here we discuss about safety. Safety is a prevent the foodborne illness by controlling of pathogens. Means if we control the pathogens, we save the food item, and in quality retain the taste, texture and nutritional value. If we retain these parameters, we ensure the food quality. And here is economical. Economical is also impact of the food waste. If our food will be spoiled, we will definitely throw it. So it means we waste the food. So this economical parameter will be reduce the food waste, save money. From where? Importance of preservatives in food. And now convenience. Provided a variety of long lasting food products. We stored food products for long time. And in last, availability. Ensure the food supply during off seasonal. We also get some fruits and vegetable in off seasons. All are known about some fruits are not seasonal fruits, but we received in our plate those fruits which are not in seasonal. So this importance of preservation ensure these parameters for availability of the food and help in reduce the food spoilage. So go for next. Here is some traditional method for preservation method or preservation techniques. It's a traditional method. We all know about the drying, salting and picklings, canning and jarring and smoking. Is the common and traditional method for food preservation to store the food items for long time or safe from the microbial spoilage. So here is drying. Will removal the moisture free from foods like fruits and vegetables and meat to prevent microbial growth and enzymatic reaction. If we save from this, we use the drying method for reduce the spoilage. And in salting and picklings, it's a salting and sugaring also is a method to the preserve fruits and vegetables, like using salting, vinegar or brine create unfavorable environment to microbes and slow spoilage. Means they provide the condition, not a growing condition for microbes, and they not grow in environment and unfavorable condition to grow in food items. And third is canning and jarring. Canning is also Sealing of food product, airtight container prevent the air and microbes from entering. Means if we remove the moisture, air from the food surface or food items, that means it will save from the food spoilage. It's a basic need and basic parameter for food spoilage. One traditional method, here we also know about the smoking. Exposing food smoke which added a flavor and inhibit microbial growth through the compound like phenols. It's a compound which helps in reducing the microbial growth. So we go for next. Here some modern preservation techniques and technologies. Nowadays we aware about the technologies and advancement in several sectors, not in a food, in every sector we using the technologies. So here is technology in first is a canning and bottling. We know about the canning and bottling, how we canning and bottling a glass which ready to be filled before food. Take a glass and fill the glass by food items which are already be heated. Means when we taking this jar, first we dip in water bath or hot water for sterilized condition for bottle. So when they sterilize the bottle, the food item will be filled and packed in jars, packed in the water. Again we packed food item placed in water bath order to kill the bacteria and keep the food peak freshness, and jars are sold into the market or anywhere else. So we go for next. Next is freezing. After drying, freezing. In freezing, we know about the freezing food at very low temperature halts microbes growth and enzymatic reactions, keep food fresh extended periods. Advance in freezing technologies have improved the quality, convenience. It means we packed or crystallize in crystallized form, just like a pea, Mutter we found in market off seasonal also. Why? Because we preserve in freezer, deep freezer. Means we given a condition of crystallization, ice crystallization. When it's crystallized in form of ice, we store in deep freezer, etc. We increase the shelf life and store for long time. So when we packed in crystallized or moist condition, they never shrink or never lost of the freshness. And here one thing is fruits in vegetables. Sometimes we use the dehydration process. Why dehydration process we use? Removing moisture from foods through, because we remove the moisture, we ensure the food is safe from microbial growth. So here we dehydrate or freeze drying inhibit the bacterial growth and enzyme activity. Means we inhibit the enzyme activity, so means allowing the long term storage of fruits, vegetable, meat and more. Means we inhibit the bacterial growth and enzyme activity, so it means we get a long term storage of fruits, vegetable, meat and more. Now we go for next. Here is a one. Next point is a modified packaging. Is also a technique for food preservation, in which is MAP, which we know about, modified atmospheric packaging, in which we inhale the controlling the gas composition include food packaging such as a CO2 and reduce the oxygen. If we insert the CO2, it means oxygen will cut, and in some food items we fill the nitrogen gas to slow down the spoilage and extend the shelf life for the produced and prepared meals. It's an advanced technology in food packaging. Here importance of preservation for sustainability. Sustainability means preservation is a very crucial role play in ensuring the sustainability of food security worldwide by the preventing spoilage. If by preservation we stop or reduce the spoilage, so it means we help in food security worldwide in food waste due to the extend the shelf life or preservable growth. Food preservation technology help reduce food waste. So this is clear point. Food waste. If food not spoiled, we never waste the food items. So a major contributor to global environment and impact. So here some benefits about food preservation. So first is storage and distribution. Storage and distribution means we preserve the food, helps store. We have time to store, we have time to distribute surplus agricultural process efficiently. If we produce much more, when we store and distribute, and all these needs are storage time, distribution time, etc. And second is resource efficiency. Reduce the need of additional land cultivation and water uses. Conservation impacts help to natural ecosystem and biodiversity. And fourth is environmental sustainability. It means support the sustainable utilization of resources and minimize the waste. So these are the importance of preservation. Here we seen about the food annual global food waste, near about $1 metric ton annually global food waste. In $1 trillion worth of food is wasted annually worldwide. Strategic figure that could be significantly reduced through improve the preservation. If we improve the preservation method, means we reduce the food waste. Reduce the food waste. So here we see in the different sector we are wasting the food. 43% at the home, 2% manufacturers, 16% farmers, 14% supermarket, stockholder, restaurant and other businesses. So nowadays we have 40% reduction in food waste due to the preservation. So here are some points about the controlling agent for microbes. How we control the microbes. Here some agents are temperature control. Temperature control, it's a parameter. Chemical preservative is a parameter, and irradiation process is also a parameter for food preservation. These are the three parameters which are using in food preservation for food spoilage, because if we maintain the temperature, appropriate temperature, either hot or cold, can inhibit the microbial growth and slow down the spoilage. So it plays the crucial role in food preservation. And is a chemical preservation. So in certain chemicals like salt, sugar, it's all natural preservatives. And here is acidic, can create an unfavorable environment for microbes, because they not give the favorable condition to microbes grow easily. So they preventing the food spoilage. And here is a irradiation process in which food ionizing the radiation. By the radiation we use the kill harmful microorganism and extend the shelf life without significantly absorbing the taste or texture. Means no change in texture or taste, we kill the microorganisms. So we go for next. Now we know about the principle. What the principle and method of food preservations. Here is some principal points and preservation for: inhibit the microbial growth, destroy the microorganisms, avoid the recontamination. It means these conditions to this condition are included in food preservation. So first is inhibit microbial growth, use low temperature. It means we provide a low temperature, reduce moisture, low pH or preservatives to slow down or stop the microbes, and destroy the microorganisms. In this condition we apply the heat, irradiation, high pressure to kill the harmful microbes. And third one is avoid the recontamination, means use proper packaging, don't use repackaging or used packaging. Maintain hygienic is also the main parameter for food handling and not packaging in our daily life. So keep the food free from new contaminations. And next is inhibit the so the principle of food preservation. Here we discuss about the point wise. So previously we have discussed in short, we have discussed about here inhibition of the microbial growth. So we know the what in the condition of the microbial growth, what do they help in first parameter: lowering temperature, reducing water activity, lowering pH, using preservative. Means if we control the temperature or given to adequate and suitable condition for the food products like the refrigeration, freezing, slow down the microbial activity. And like in reducing water activity, we dry the food items or adding the sugar, salt, removing the moisture that microbes not need to grow. In lowering pH, picklings, fermenting food create an acidic environment that inhibit microbial growth. And in using preservative, it's a chemical, natural additives can be prevent the spoilage. And next is destruction of microorganisms. So here is destruction of microorganism. Destruction of microorganism means heating, irradiation, high pressure processing. Means if we apply method like heat, pasteurization, canning for use heat to kill the microbes in milk product, and irradiation using gamma rays, UV light to kill microorganisms for packed foods. In high pressure processing, HHEP, apply a high pressure to inactivate microbe without heat. Means we place the sample in unit where we pressurize the pressure for this product and removal and inhibit or inactive the microbes. And third is avoiding the recontamination. Avoiding the recontamination means proper packaging, hygienic handling. So in proper packaging we have now number of techniques in food packaging like MAP, protect the food from exposure to microbes. In technique we use the vacuum sealing, modified atmospheric pressure, which known as is MAP. And second is hygienic handling, maintain cleaning or cleanness during the processing, storage or eating, not in manufacturing unit, not in distribution unit, even consuming unit, means human beings. We know about, we aware about what we condition apply in conditions we taken a food. So maintain the cleaning or hygienic steps. So here is method of food preservation. First is refrigeration and freezing. Here is a kind of refrigeration or temperature preservation is refrigeration, chilling, freezing, freezer dryer. Means some food items need refrigeration, some food items need chilling, and some are required for freezing only, and some are freeze dryer. So what the food items we are present, or what food item we are preserving, so need the unit or instrument. So here the work is slow the microbial growth and enzymatic activity, and common foods are meat, like we have meat, dairy, fruits and vegetables. These types of fruits we use those type of units which helping in preservation and reduce the spoilage. Second is canning. Canning is a heat to kill microorganisms and seal the airtight container. Means we use container in which food packed, and we sealed air tightly container which cross the and stop the air moisture or air inside the container, which can help in reducing the food spoilage. So in which use for food, vegetables, meat and soups. And who is the invention of canning is known as father of canning is Nicholas Appert is known as father of canning. We know about the drying for hot air oven, vacuum dry and etc. Here is sun dry, this is a vacuum dry. So in which food items require what the drying method we apply from the instrument. So in what the principle, remove the moisture, inhibit microbial growth, and method includes sun drying, air drying and freeze drying, which we listed also in figure. And fourth is salting and sugaring. Sugaring and salting is a natural preservative, we all aware all time. So draw out moisture to prevent microbial growth, and common in curd meat, fresh, jam and jellies. And next is pickling. Pickling used for vinegar fermentation to create an acidic environmental to applied on cucumbers, vegetables, some meats also. So here we know about the additional pickling is imparts what the characteristics, tangy flavor, not for only preservative, it's a tangy provide a tangy flavor to food, making both preserve it can preserve also and flavorful also. Means they provide two important roles. Next is 6th number, pasteurization. Pasteurization means mild heat treatment to kill pathogens used for milk, juice and some alcoholic beverages. We know about the pasteurization. Here is the fresh milk, and this is a unit of pasteurization in which heating section, cooling section, and when we out the pasteurized milk, and in this condition kill the pathogens and microbes. Which safe and secure the food items. Next is vacuum packaging. Here we seen the food items where we packed, shrink the area. Here we know shrink the area of the food items, no moisture, air will be present inside. So if we stop or inhibit the air, so that means the microbial growth not possible due to barrier of vacuum packaging. Next is irradiation. Irradiation means we use ionizing radiation to kill the microbes and pests apply to on spices, dry fruits and some meats. Here we there the tray, moving conveyor, we place the packed food which passes through the irradiation chamber as per food item wavelength required, in which kill the microbes. Next is HPP. HPP, high pressure processing. In high pressure processing means use a high pressure to inactivate microbes without heat. Means without heat we remove the microbes. We understand how they work. Common for juice, ready to eat meats and seafoods, in which see the food items in packed bottle, we placed it, and product placed in basket were subjected to high pressure in HPP unit for a few minutes. This process preserve the flavor, texture and nutrient without using the heat, and inactivate the pathogens and spoilage of microorganisms. So here we place the and pressurize the temperature, kill the microbes outside of the surface of the food items. Very short time we placed in, and not provided a heat. Without heat we kill the microbes. And in last, what we found about the topic of food spoilage and food preservations. We know about first we understand the applying of the principles and method help ensure the safety, quality product, long lasting product, which ensure the food product is safe or not. So we understand about those things in the food spoilage, food preservation method. So in advance we also in food preservation continue to improve the ability to store the food products and food safety. So nowadays we are more aware about the food safety, hygienic, much more things where we have to take in the hygienic condition, food items, what food are good for and what for not. So microbial spoilage nowadays, basic need to understand which bacteria is good and which bacteria are not good for human being. So before eating we know about all these things, what the food spoilage, how the food items are preserved. So it's the basic understanding lecture for the food on lecture on food spoilage and food safety. So our lecture we discuss about beneficial role of food microbes in health. So means which microbes are beneficial for human beings, we discuss in our next lecture, unit number 3. So we will continue in next lecture. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much.